What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we're going to talk about the long-awaited theme park, Epic Universe, that is set to open its gates, or should I say, portals, on May 22nd, 2025. Specifically, we're going to talk about one of the most exciting themed lands that it will have, Dark Universe, which will consist of all of the classic Universal monsters. These characters have been icons in pop culture for decades. Thanks to Universal bringing these characters back to life, fans can now step into the haunting and eerie world of their favorite classic monsters. But why now? Universal Studios Florida opened on June 7th, 1990. When the theme park opened, there was only one monster-themed attraction, which was the Phantom of the Opera horror makeup show, which is now just the horror makeup show. And over the years, there's been little sprinklings of monsters in the park, such as Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review and Monster Cafe. But largely, the monsters haven't had a presence at normal operations Universal Studios besides, merch in the souvenir shops. As a monster fangirl, this makes me sad. I mean, how could you not highlight the monsters, the classic characters that made this studio a household name? Since I was a little girl, I have always been fascinated by monsters. And growing up in the 90s, I was surrounded by monster stories. Things like Goosebumps, Big Wolf on Campus, and Scooby-Doo were my first real introduction to monsters and the supernatural. These shows referenced and paid homage to the monsters, and they planted a seed in my brain for my love of horror and these classic Universal monsters. Now, on top of all of that, Universal released the classic monster line of VHS home videos in the 90s. This effort to remarket the Universal monster catalog sparked a monster craze, and suddenly, once again, the monsters were everywhere. I'm talking Burger King, I'm talking Doritos, I'm talking Pepsi, and even the 90s craze Pogs. Can you see them? Are they beautiful? Yes. 2 Wolfman Slammer Whammers. So of course my impressionable little mind saw these cool characters and their creepy forests and their spooky castles, and they were everywhere, and I was like, yes please. This is my entire personality now. And I wasn't the only one. A new generation of monster fans was born as a result of this resurgence of the monsters. Now, these monsters have been around for a long time, some of them dating back to the 20s, and ultimately, they're a reason that Universal made a name for itself. Yet they were barely represented in the park attraction-wise, especially by the time I went for the first time in 2016. So everyone in my generation is walking around Universal amongst the minions looking like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, wondering why their beloved monsters are nowhere to be seen. Well, that is except for one little event you may have heard of: Halloween Horror Nights. Since its start in 1991, HHN has given Universal creatives the opportunity to reimagine these old and classic characters. Although, with as many years as this event has been going on, it was pretty far and few between in my humble opinion. And of course, there were a few over the years, but I feel like, well, look, I wasn't there, okay, so who am I to say this, but listening to people talk about them, watching videos and pictures and things that I have seen of the event, it gave off old and outdated, so it's no wonder that fans didn't take the bait. But something magical, perhaps you could even say epic, happened to these characters at the 2019 event. One of the 10 houses at HHN 29 was simply titled Universal Monsters. This house was a compilation of all the heavy hitters, and it took these very old characters and updated them for modern audiences. And it was one of the most popular houses that year. Due to the popularity of the house, the monsters have not only remained a staple at the event, but they've also consistently been the fan favorite house every year. Halloween Horror Nights is one of the biggest money makers at Universal Studios, and it's one of the biggest seasonal events in the theme park industry. Millions of people attend the event every year. There's 10 houses, 5 scare zones, all kinds of shows and specialty food, and I mean, there's a lot to see at this event. Not only that, but it brings in some huge properties and franchises, things like Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, and Ghostbusters. So the fact that these dusty old characters from the black and white era can take the top spot amongst these cool and popular franchises as well as original concepts is pretty exceptional. The funny thing about the monster houses is that I feel like they never really fit in with either category, because you see the houses are usually split in two. You've got your IPs, your franchises, your well-known characters, and then you have your originals, things that Universal creatives just plucked from their brain and made a house out of. And I feel like these Universal monster houses in the last couple years have not fit into either of those. They're somewhere in the in-between. Take The Bride of Frankenstein Lives in 2021, for example. This house explored what happened after the movie The Bride of Frankenstein. So you have the bride, okay, she sees the monster, she screams, she rejects him. Your boy Frankenstein is like, you know what, you don't like me, we belong dead. Flips the switch, crumbles down upon them, and you just assume that they're both dead. But the bride lived, and now she is determined to bring back the monster using the blood of Dracula's brides. So we're seeing very familiar characters in a new and exciting way. Much like the VHS tapes back in the 90s, Halloween Horror Nights has successfully brought the Universal monsters back to life. Bigger, better, and scarier than ever. Something that the cinematic dark universe could never do, unfortunately. And I think Universal finally took note of a formula. Halloween Horror Nights is the most successful event at the park with a huge and hungry fan base. Universal monsters were a fan favorite at Halloween Horror Nights, and the houses were knocking the dust off of these ancient characters and proving that their own properties had a little life in them still. And then the wizarding world of Harry Potter was the most popular area of the park due to its immersion. Solve that equation and what do we get? The fans are looking for updated and immersive monster attractions that they can experience all year long. Universal saw this and they said, you want spooky? We'll give you spooky. Which is so perfect because Universal at its very core is horror. The Universal monster movies were groundbreaking for their makeup, special effects, and innovative techniques at the time that they came out. So it's only appropriate that these characters have an entire land dedicated to them, and that land features innovative animatronics, ride systems, and effects that will thrill fans today, just like the movies did back in the black and white era. But I think there's another reason that Universal finally looked at these characters and said, yeah, I guess we'll use them. Disney owns everything. No, seriously, they might own me. The company has been acquiring things left and right, leaving very few intellectual properties for parks like Universal. And it's really hard to stay on top, even if you have great rides. But when your rivals have the biggest names in pop culture like Star Wars and Marvel, how are you gonna compete with that? So Universal had to shift their strategies in the rise of Disney's growing empire and ask themselves the question, what is the one thing that Disney doesn't have? Monsters. I'm not talking about the Haunted Mansion and the absolutely terrifying ride that is It's a Small World. I'm talking about the Universal monsters. True and classic horror. The Universal monsters were the foundation of the studio's legacy and identity. They shaped the film industry and pop culture, so it's about damn time that they took these monsters out of the holsters and pulled the trigger. By creating a monster-themed land, Universal is showcasing its legacy, and it's also offering a unique experience that is something that Disney cannot compete with in any way. And Universal's already known for thrilling rides that appeal to a wider audience, and this only bumps that up a step further. Not only are they embracing their heritage, but they're giving the fans what they want. More monsters, more scares, more Halloween Horror Nights vibes. So after all these years, the question remains, why now? Why are we taking these monsters out of the tombs and giving them their own land? The timing is perfect because Universal has seen the overwhelming success of the monsters at Halloween Horror Nights and the way that they've become fan favorites every year. The event has proven to Universal that there is a massive appetite for these characters, and it's shown them the potential for an immersive all-year-round experience. Add to that the competition with Disney, and Universal is determined to set itself apart by leveraging its own iconic properties. And with the incredible advancements in technology, from cutting-edge animatronics to fully immersive ride systems, Universal has the tools to bring these classic characters to life in ways that would have been impossible in the past. It's the perfect storm of fan demand, competition, and the success of Halloween Horror Nights that has acted as the bolt of lightning to bring these iconic characters back to life at Universal Studios. Now, this is just my theory. Who am I? Okay, I don't work for Universal. I wish I did. I wish I did. Dream job, okay? But I don't, okay? I'm just a girl over here in Texas, fangirling about the monsters and this land that I am so excited to see in person. So, hey, this may not be true, but from the outside looking in, from what I've seen at Universal over the years, I think these are all the things that have led to this point that is so insanely important to monster fans everywhere, so I had to nerd out about it. It's all I could talk about. You know, I'm at a point where I don't care where I am or who I'm around. I'll just be like, have you heard about the Dark Universe? Well, let me tell you. And then I rhythm with it. You know, it's very much the ancient Egyptians believed that the most important thing you could do in your life was die. I'm that person, okay? So sound off in the comments. Are you excited about the Dark Universe, and what attraction are you most excited to experience? Also, if you have any theories of why now in 2025 we're getting this crazy cool land, let me know. If it's something different than what I said in this video, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And this year, I am planning on going to Halloween Horror Nights. It's been 2 years since I've been, because you know, life gets hard, okay? I don't live in Florida. I don't live close to Florida. So it's a trek to get over there. And with the small amount of vacation time I get in the year, other things pop up that I want to go see in the world. So it's not realistic to say I'm going to go to Halloween Horror Nights every year. But I'm going to make up for lost time this year. I'm going to see Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to see Epic Universe. And I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. And I hope that when I'm there, I'll see some of you nerds too. So if you're planning on going to Halloween Horror Nights 2025, you're definitely going to want to stick around here at Nerd Squish, because as the announcements come out, as the speculations come out, we are going to walk you through the journey, we're going to give you all the details, and we're going to nerd out together. So if you're looking forward to those videos and you enjoyed this one today, give the video a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you nerds in the fog!